My name is Joseph Lentunyoy from Laikipia Permaculture Center. As Laikipia Permaculture Center, we look at different things, and mainly we look at the agronomic practices that we train farmers that we work with, which we call a food forest. A food forest is where all the plants is planted. We don't practice monocrops. Monocrop is one plant, which is an exploitation of the soil. Integration of different crops in the soil works much more better for the soils because we look at variety of plants, one of them being nitrogen fixers. Nitrogen fixers are able to capture nitrogen from the atmosphere and then put it in the ground for other crops that do not have that ability to absorb that nitrogen. Examples of plants that capture nitrogen from the ground are cowpea, beans, acacias. All of those plants have that ability. That's why where I'm standing now, you can see at the background, we have different plants. In a food forest, we are always talking about upper-story plants. Upper-story are the tallest plants that you can see. You can see banana here. This is Acacia polycantha. This one is Acacia mellifera. And then we have different species. We have avocado up there that go up. Those upper-story, some of them are nitrogen fixers. And then there is also understory. Understory are lower plants that do not really grow up, but they are under the upper-story. These plants can be fruit trees, can be lemon, like just how you see in the background. They can be papaya, oranges, and they can be consumed by human beings. Between the upper-story and understory, you have climbers. This can be passion fruit. Plants that meander around the bigger trees and go up. Instead of having pegs to plant the passion, we just use a tree. We plant a passion underneath and then they grow. Then we have ground covers. Ground covers are what you are seeing now here, sweet potato that cover the land. Because in permaculture, we believe that the land should be covered. Just as how we are putting on clothes as human beings. Same as the soil, which need to be covered because of the heat from the sun, because of soil erosion, and all these kind of things. So the ground covers does that work automatically to cover the soil. When we do irrigation, the moisture remains in the soil. The best soils are moisty so that they support the life of the plants. That's what we are trying to say. And then in the system, we also have herbs. Like for example, this one is rosemary, this one is fennel, that one is mint. Herbs that also grow above the ground covers. These herbs are very good in the use of kitchen. So the kitchen people can come and harvest all what they need in one spot. So we don't need to go far to fetch herbs, to fetch vegetables in different corners, to get fruits, but all of it grow in one place. This beneficial usefulness is not just for the human beings, but for the soil, also for the habitation. Like for example, you can hear the sound of the birds singing up in the upper-story trees because they make their nests up there. As they make their nests up there, they are comfortable, they are eating some of the things that we grow in the food forest, and at the same time, they fertilize the land because they eat, they drop the droppings. The droppings of the birds have very good nitrogen for the soils. So as much as we are also talking about birds, also habitation of microorganisms in the soil. Because when the soil is covered, microorganisms like some of the worms have their habitation just beneath the topsoil. And these microorganisms also benefit the plants on their own. So this is what we call a food forest. A food forest should be able to provide all the needs to the humans. It should also be able to provide fodder for animals. For example, you can bring in fodder for cows. You can bring in napier grass. You can bring in Maasai love grass. So when you are coming here, you can also do chop and drop. Chop and drop is where we use a machete or a panga to cut some of the things in the farm, and then we feed our cows. When we feed our cows, the cows bring out manure. they bring out urine. That is also brought into the farm. So the relationship between animals, human beings, birds, microorganisms, plants, the soil, it should be a closed loop system where each element depends from one another. Where we go wrong in conventional agriculture is that we separate these things. We have animals separately, we have one tree separately, we have another separately, and then we have monocrop all over. So as human beings, we end up struggling because we need to bring this to this, this to that, and then we end up working too much and breaking our backs. That's why most people don't like conventional agriculture. But here you are in the farm, getting your own food, getting food for your animals, taking care of the soil, and then at the end of the day, as a farmer, you make some money for economic development or for your own supply of income, which now makes you happy as a farmer, and then you are able to take care of all these kind of things. And that's the reason where we are saying we need to take care of the planet, so the planet takes care of us. Otherwise, if we don't work with nature, nature will work against us, and this will be very hard for the humans' existence on the planet Earth.